talking about specific employees. When we did the budget for 2017, I asked a question if we were going to use the Austin Peters pay scale. You guys agreed that we would use the new pay scale. If I send the information down to where those employees lie within the pay scale, I'm doing housekeeping before the end of the year is what I'm doing, so that Deb can prepare the wage agreements for next year based off of those. Is that what you guys need to do? Because the different employees fall. Because it's a 5-level system. You know, it's kind of a different system than what we've been doing. Would that help you guys ahead of time if I got where everybody lies?
That's one thing that I did not get to was and I will put those in a notebook like I have here.
Okay.
But what I wanted to do was go back and get that wage agreement transferred from a salaried rate, because right now in 2016 they're at a salary. Your decision was to move those employees to an hourly, so I need to go back and refigure each one of those. But I was going to put each wage agreement with each job description so that you could have that information. The other thing, Nicole and I were visiting the other day about the employee agreements, and I showed her what we've done in the past, and there's been conversations about maybe combining the employee agreement, the wage agreement, and having all that paperwork clean
in one document.
And that one document go out with the job description, because the wage is based on the job, what the duties of the job are.
That's good.
And so to keep that in line, we need to, there's a lot of work that needs to be done in preparation of the new year.
Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll get each individual employee where they lie on that new Austin Peter pay scale, and I will get that to Deb.
Okay.
If that's according to you guys, like I said, I'm just taking care of year-end stuff. Want to make sure that we go into the new year right, get things set up.
You're going to have this by the 27th, right?
I can have it for you in about 2 hours, but
Well, we're not.
this isn't something I haven't not been working on. Yes, I can have it to you by the 27th. I've been working on it. It'd just be a matter of entering individuals' names and probably putting it in a format that takes my hen scratching and my everything else off the side of it and puts it in a format where it's easily readable by
Don't make
you
a
guys.
mistake like Rodney does.
I make more mistakes, but that's what you guys are for. So that's about the end of it. Getting ready to end the year. We have one project left in the remodel upstairs, and that's our I don't want to say custom. That makes it sound like it's fancy, but we had to add to our cabinetry a level of security because we're going to have an evidence lockbox. And when that gets completed, we had to have the people add a level of security to it, obviously since it's going to hold evidence. When it gets completed, it'll be installed. On the 28th is when the live scan fingerprint machine will get here. That's off of a grant. I need to do some discussion with Emergency Manager Ryan and the Homeland Security region, because we have applied for grants for the last 10 years to get one of these. We always get turned down. In the sake of trying to get one, we applied for 2 grants this year to get one. Both of them were no cost share, 100% give to us as long as we paid the maintenance agreements, which is a couple $1,000s on the equipment per year. We received both grants. So we've got to find a way to get that back cycled through to the Homeland Security region is probably the one. I was going to turn down whichever one showed up last. The one through the federal government, through the KBI, showed up the other day with instructions that they'd be up on the 28th to train us on how to use it, so that's the one we're going to keep. I'm going to notify Homeland Security region. We don't need theirs. If they let me transfer it to the city police department, I will, but I've got to get their permission to do it before I do it. So that way both agencies have this live scan fingerprint equipment, if the Homeland Security region will let us do that. Everything else is on task for the end of the year. my budget shows, if you look at it, there's an overage, but if you remember the equipment reserve deal where we bought the vehicles at the first of the year until the end of the year, it should balance out. And I'm aware that the math has to include that equipment reserve for it to balance, but that's what we discussed last year when we totaled the vehicle and we had to purchase a vehicle at the time, not wait until the end of the year for the equipment reserve transfer. So,
I think your budget's coming back in line.
yeah, so it should all end up in the black. Since you had that on the chalkboard, I wanted to put out, if you look at it without doing the math like Rodney did with the equipment reserve subtraction, it does look like I'm in negative. But I just wanted to remind you guys that we knew that on February when we had to buy the vehicle.
Well, I'm also aware that we, in a way, created a problem on the personnel line item in when we okayed the increases in wages.
Mm-hmm.
Because a year before, when we did the budget, we didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and when
So
we
that-
did, and we didn't have the group in there when we did the budget. It was something that came around in late December, early January, and we have to pay those expenses out of the general fund. By state law, we have to pay their payroll out of that. So we didn't, that was adding part-time help that we weren't planning on when we did the budget. Other than that, unless you guys have some questions, I think that catches me up till the meeting of the 27th. I just wanted to try to prepare for the end of the year and get things done for the end of the year, and also invite you guys up to come see. I know it's not 100% finished because we don't have the evidence cabinet in place, but invite you guys up and see what's done. And next year, using the same program, we will be doing the other side of the office. We did the north side. We'll be doing the south side in 2017. So feel free to come up.
Okay. Cody, thank you.
Yep.
Have a good
Thank you, Cody.
Good morning.
one. Scott.
Merry Christmas from the hospital family.
You too.
Like Cody, we're obviously winding down our fiscal year also. With regard to finances, we'll see how the dust settles. Fortunately, we've just been swarming in December with the onset of the cold and flu season. I think
I've seen a
There's a
lot of cars
correlation
parked
there.
out
Yeah.
there. You must have a full house.
we've had a full house for several days, which we're blessed. And so, as we look to close out our fiscal year, certainly appreciate the fact that we're ending in very strong fashion here in December. November, as you can see from the numbers, was another slow month for sure. A couple areas that we're seeing stability return to is the health clinic with regard to equipment availability, specifically getting Bird City back consistent. One of our providers there, a little over a month ago, was going through some required quite a bit of vacation. So now that we got schedule back set, Crystal will be coming after the break in January, back off of her maternity leave. So that'll be significant to get her back fully in the game and in the schedule and the routine of things. So again, as we see December looking so promising, I'm hoping we can continue that momentum into the new year. But again, just depending on December, still probable that we'll finish with fewer days, inpatient days. We will definitely finish with fewer inpatient days than last year, just a matter of how many more. Right now, it's looking like about 100. So obviously that's significant as well. But our outpatient clinic, with the addition of pulmonology and orthopedics, is really gaining steam. Dr. Meyer, in particular, with the 10 patients now with ortho, which obviously, as that relates to physical therapy and everything else, and all the images that he requires, that's proving profitable. still trying to get fully staffed on the RN front. Still needing 2 night RNs. I know there's an interview today, and another nurse that has expressed interest. So if we could get back to full strength on the nursing front here by the end of the year, I'd be very happy. Particularly as it regards to getting out of that contract nursing bill. So, big picture, and then, I'll have it broken down for you in detail here once we close out our fiscal year, as Cody mentioned. Give you the fidelity that I did last year with regard to dollars and cents and numbers, but certainly leave you with the holiday greeting and let you know that all told, with regard to volume and as that pertains directly to finances, it's been another challenging year, and I'll have everything encapsulated for you guys, presumably on the 15th of January when I come back. So, questions for me? Did you guys get the High Plains mental health issue resolved? I know you had a meeting with Dave Anderson and company.
No, we did not.
Okay. There was, I understand that.
We had given the letter to the hospital board to see if they would help us pick up some of that.
And then, from my understanding, there was a subsequent meeting.
I said, tell him we're expecting it.
And what's that?
And from my understanding, there was a meeting following that letter with Dave, and I just didn't know if there was anything relevant that had come from that meeting, or
I hadn't
just,
heard.
okay, no problem.
I missed the last hospital board. Can I get a copy of the budget that the hospital is going to be working under for next year?
Yeah, there was a couple of questions from the board with regard to the budget, so I'm hoping that will get approved and finalized, and certainly you'll
Okay.
get a copy.
When is the next meeting again?
I believe it is next Thursday.
Okay. Usually I get an email on that. I'll try to make sure I monitor my computer.
Mm-hmm. I can tell you here. Wednesday, the 21st.
Wednesday?
Yep, at 3 o'clock.
Okay. 21st, huh? Okay.
So you haven't had an opportunity to address the letter from the board with the hospital, with your hospital board yet?
That will be, as they look to finalize the budget for next year at this next meeting, that I believe it was $8,000.
Roughly,
Yeah, will be certainly set in stone,
okay.
so. Anything else?
No, not that I can think of.
Very good, Chris.
I'm glad to see your census is going up.
Well, yeah.
Terrible thing to say. You know, that's really kind of a terrible thing to say.
Yeah, I know. It's a terrible thing to say, but we're looking at dollars.
Do we want to take a quick break?
Yeah, let's take a quick break here.